Antiheroes. They're everywhere in modern media. An antihero is defined as a central character in a film who lacks conventional heroic attributes. Some characters that fit this definition could be Wolverine, Walter White, or even Batman. However, none of the characters I just mentioned are antiheroes. It's an ambiguous definition that doesn't properly define what an antihero actually is. So what is an antihero and what distinguishes an antihero from just another villain or hero? It's simple. A true antihero is someone with a backstory that contextualizes their actions, someone who employs morally ambiguous methods in order to obtain their goals, and someone who has character flaws not typically seen in an idealistic hero. In this video, I'll be analyzing the essence of the antihero through some of the most influential shows of the decade, The Boys and Invincible. The antihero I'm going to be studying from The Boys is Billy Butcher.
Yeah, I said who the hell are you? How do you know that?
Name's Butcher. Billy Butcher.
Butcher lives in a dystopian world where superheroes are treated as celebrities and are effectively above the law. They face no consequences for the sadistic acts they commit.
Oh God.
No. No God. The only man in the sky is me.
After the strongest, seemingly most sympathetic superhero rapes Butcher's wife, Butcher starts researching other superheroes and discovers the atrocities 90% of superheroes commit that are covered up by the powerful corporation that controls the country. Butcher develops the unshakable belief that power corrupts absolutely, and thus all superheroes, without exception, are corrupt. This belief is founded on his personal experience, and while it may be flawed, as seen with superheroes who aren't sadistic murderers, we can see why Butcher feels he has to take extreme measures, such as starting his own vigilante group and murdering corrupt superheroes. We can sympathize with Butcher's underdog fight against superpowered beings in a multi-billion-dollar corporation, even if we don't support his methods.
Who are you?
Cecil Stedman, Director of the Global Defense Agency.
Cecil Stedman is the man tasked with protecting the world. When he was younger, he was a stereotypical hero risking his life to save people, and someone who was unwilling to work with criminals.
I don't work with criminals.
However, after spending 3 years in prison, living among the criminals that he despised, he came to adopt a new philosophy.
You can be the good guy, or the guy who saves the world. You can't be both.
Through Cecil's backstory, we can understand why Cecil finds it justified to take the actions he does. Cecil is just a normal guy defending the world from superpowered beings, so it makes sense to be forced to extreme measures. If you've watched The Boys, then you know Butcher's methods are morally questionable at best.
My family would be... Your family's already in trouble. Because I'm about to go into that room next door to your daughter, and I'm going to bash her brains out. And then I'm going to find your 2 sons and their wives and their little kiddies. Your whole fucking family dies today. Or you help me.
He's willing to threaten, torture, and murder in order to achieve his goal. However, as violent as his methods are, his goal of stopping corrupt superheroes is justified again and again, as is shown scene after scene of superheroes abusing their powers. Ultimately, we must ask ourselves, how far should one be willing to go in the pursuit of a just cause? An anti-hero is a character who decides to descend down to the villain's level to fight against them with any means necessary. Cecil stands in stark contrast to Butcher and his vigilante group. Cecil works for the government, so unlike Butcher, he doesn't break any laws, apart from spying on his employees, which is fairly illegal.
But we are spying on the Graysons.
Yeah.
Cecil's questionable morality comes more from the countermeasures he develops against his own allies, rather than any actions he takes against enemies. He manipulates his allies and even implants a sonic weapon into the head of the protagonist of the series. A traditional hero is honest to their friends and allies and unwilling to work with villains. An anti-hero is someone who blurs the line between friend and foe and relies on deceit and secrecy rather than honesty and transparency. Butcher from The Boys is by no means a perfect hero. He is a deeply flawed character, and one of his most defining flaws is his disloyalty. Unlike the stereotypical hero who remains steadfastly loyal to their friends and honors their promises, Butcher repeatedly betrays the very people he allies with. He lacks a basic sense of integrity.
MM could die, okay? Or Frenchie. I mean, you really don't care who you just throw to the wolves?
No, not really.
This constant lying and disloyalty alienates his team, causing him to drive them away time and time again.
See what being honest gets you?
Honest? Motherfucker, you've been lying to us for the last 6 months.
Not telling ain't lying. Look.
A common trait among anti-heroes is their tendencies to end up working alone. Their untrustworthy nature isolates them, leaving them to chase their goals in solitude. Cecil from Invincible is a slightly less flawed character than Butcher, but he's far from perfect. His greatest flaw lies in his manipulation of those around him to achieve his goals. He treats people like tools, disregarding their feelings and putting them in danger to serve his own purposes. A clear example of this is how he guilt trips Invincible, the show's protagonist, into working for him.
It's too much.
I shouldn't have brought this up so soon. Let's get you and your mother home first.
Cecil acts as a kind of surrogate father figure to Invincible, yet at the same time he secretly develops countermeasures in case Invincible ever loses control. Another example of Cecil's manipulation is his repeated resurrection of his assistant Donald each time he dies.
I've died 39 times so far.
This cold pragmatism reflects a common trait among anti-heroes, the willingness to exploit others to fulfill their own ambitions. Across human history, there have always been heroes, whether it be the mighty Hercules, the mischievous Sun Wukong, or even the great Kangaroo Man. Humans have always had heroes. They act as role models that we can all look up to, embodying the values of loyalty, integrity, and altruism. Anti-heroes don't fulfill this role. An anti-hero is a character who lacks the traditional qualities of a hero. Instead, they operate in morally gray areas, often using questionable methods to achieve what they believe is right. Their backstories usually reveal deep trauma or disillusionment, helping us understand why they reject the ideals of conventional heroism. These flaws, whether it's cynicism, disloyalty, or manipulation, make them more human and relatable. In doing so, anti-heroes critique traditional heroes by exposing the limits of moral perfection. They remind us that doing good isn't always clean or noble, and that sometimes the people who save the world aren't saints, but those willing to get their hands dirty.
With great power comes the absolute certainty that you'll turn into a right cunt.